Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our fourth episode of To the Moon. I hope that this will be our last episode of this series. I plan on that being the case since it's Saturday and I don't have to work and nothing else is hindering us. I really hope that that is going to be the case. Before we begin, though, in our last episode, we learned a lot about River's condition, but I thought for anybody that's curious as to what a pervasive developmental disorder is, I thought I would spend just a couple of minutes to educate you on this, because I've never seen anybody tackle this subject in a game before, and it's really cool that they do this and bring light to these people's situations, because this is a very hard thing for somebody to have, and so I thought it would be a good idea, before we begin, to kind of understand what River's going through a little bit. I'd like us to understand what kinds of symptoms one can experience by having a pervasive developmental disorder. It is a real thing, and people do have it, and so I want to begin by just reading this little excerpt from this, I believe this comes from, what website is this? The National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke. Let me just make sure that I am, in fact, yes, you can hear me. Okay, good. So a pervasive developmental disorder, now known as autism spectrum disorder, are characterized by delays in the development of social and communication skills. Parents may note symptoms as early as infancy, although the typical age of onset is by 3 years of age. Symptoms may include problems with using or understanding language, difficulty relating to people, objects, and events. And we've seen this with River's condition, where she's not able to relate to emotions at all, like love and different things like that. Like, she just doesn't feel that in the same way. And it's been very challenging. We've seen a lot of these challenging effects that it's had on Johnny and River both in this process. Different modes of playing with toys and other objects, difficulty with changes in routine or surroundings, repetitive body movements or behavior patterns. My eye really caught on that one, thinking about the bunny rabbits, that last point there. And also with the change in routine and surroundings, because she goes from her normal routine to now she's in this big mansion and the house that she's always wanted. So I thought that's probably played some effect on the way that she behaves as well as the repetitive body movements or behavior patterns. Different modes of playing with toys. I think that that's one of the reasons why she enjoys reading children's books, and she likes things like The Lighthouse, and she gets fixated on The Lighthouse as much as she does, is because, and cares as much as she does about it, is because of the way that her mind processes things. And there's nothing at all wrong with that, at all. And I myself enjoy children's books, and I enjoy different things like that, and I just want to bring light to this subject because I have never really heard many games speak on this particular disorder, this particular type of disorder. So it's very interesting, and it should be talked about more. This stuff, autism and different things like this, should not ever be taboo to talk about in our society, and we need to have more conversations about it to understand what these kids and what these adults are going through, because it's very difficult for them to be able to communicate and process. And it's just like Izzy said, she had her whole life is basically a play because she has this. She has the same disorder as River does. And so it's very hard for her, emotionally, physically, to go through this, because she doesn't understand her own self, what's going on. Like, she knows this stuff is going on, but I don't think it's ever fully sunk in, because of the emotional aspects that she has problems relating to. And so this is a very good thing to address. This is a very good point to address, and I applaud the game makers for making this a central part of the game to help others understand. And because think back when Izzy was telling Johnny off for how he was reacting to River and how he shouldn't. That was all part of this, and at the time I didn't understand, because I didn't know what she had until I educated myself on it. And now I understand that Izzy was responding because she doesn't understand the emotional side of it herself to be able to explain it in such a way that has tact. Her mind doesn't have the capability of having those filters, because she has development. She has this pervasive developmental disorder. And so it makes perfect sense now why she's responded the way that she did. But if you did not know that the person had this, or if you did not understand what this meant, you might think, well, that was really rude, Izzy. That was really rude to say. Like, even I said it when I was doing that stream, that it was really rude, and hold on a minute, Johnny's going through a lot here, but she's unable to process that. She's unable to see that, and so having this, it's like Izzy said at the table, her whole life has been a play. That's the reason why she's an actor, is because her whole life, it's the easiest thing for her to do, because she's constantly having to act. Her emotions are never fully genuine, because she has problems expressing the language, the same level of language, or understanding the language of others, and being able to relate to people, objects, and events. So I just wanted to really educate you as my audience, so that because it gives us a thorough understanding of what River's going through in this, and it kind of helps us to understand maybe a small bit of what people in real life who are dealing with this are experiencing, which I think is very important. Children with PDD vary widely. Some children do not speak at all, while others speak in limited phrases or conversations. We've seen this with River. She doesn't really say a whole lot because she doesn't know what to say. I think that's part of it. It's like she has a lot of trouble expressing what she wants to say. And I think it probably is it is, I'm sure, very frustrating for her that she wants to say she wants to speak like others, but she cannot process how to say words. And that's nothing, again, against River at all. Absolutely nothing. To me, looking and observing River, she's very highly intelligent as a character. She's very highly intelligent. She's very nice in the way that she says things, and I love the way that her mind does process things. I love watching the things that River enjoys and how she expresses herself through the words that she says, though sometimes there is a genuine disconnect, like when they agreed to go to the movie theater, when Johnny and her agreed to go to the movie theater, but then, River thought, well, I'm in the same movie theater as him. There was that little bit of a disconnect there, but it's, in a sense, it's very innocent, and it's very, her mind is beautiful. Her mind is beautiful, and she is a blessing. And that's the way I view River. She's a blessing. Even through all of this that she's going through, she's a blessing, and she cannot help. She cannot help that this has happened to her. Like, this is not something that you choose to have, is an autism disorder. So, she's doing the best that she can, and Johnny's doing the best that he can, and they are both, I applaud Johnny again for, and I love watching their relationship. I love watching what they do together and how Johnny cares for River so much. I think that's beautiful, and I think I love that River has Johnny to be with, and that she can at least that she desires to have that relationship with Johnny. I think that is just absolutely wonderful. And Johnny, I do really feel like Johnny helps her a lot. I know that it is tiring on Johnny sometimes, but it does help River a lot to have Johnny, and I know that Johnny genuinely cares. We've seen that in the last 3 episodes. He really does genuinely care for River, and I love that. I think that's so beautiful. Because where a lot of people in this world are very cruel, and especially to people with disorders, it's so beautiful to see people who genuinely care for those who cannot process their emotions, who cannot process their thoughts well, and who have these disorders. And I just think that's great. I really do. Because people with autism struggle, but they're people, and they deserve to be treated by people, especially like people. They deserve to be treated as adults, not patronized all the time. They deserve to have that caring compassion, and they deserve love too. Everybody deserves love. Everybody deserves to feel those emotions and have somebody who is willing to care for them, who desires to care for them. And so I think it's beautiful what they've done in this game is really expound upon that and really show that through Johnny and River's relationship. Let's see here. Where was I? Some have relatively average language development. Repetitive play skills and limited social skills are generally evident. We've seen that in River. Extreme responses to sensory information, such as loud noises and lights, are also common. We've seen this because the clock was not ticking, and then Johnny asked at the doctor's office. Johnny asked the front desk lady if she could turn off the clock because the ticking noise of the clocks really bother River. There is no known cure for PDD. Medications may be used to address specific behavioral problems, and therapy should be specialized according to the needs of each child. Some children with PDD benefit from specialized classrooms, and others function well in standard special education classes or regular additional support. Or classes with regular additional support. Early intervention plays a critical role in improving the outcome of individuals with PDD. How can I or my loved one help improve care for people with pervasive developmental disorders? Consider participating in a clinical trial so clinicians and scientists can learn more about PDD and related disorders. Clinical research uses human volunteers to help researchers learn more about a disorder and perhaps find better ways of safely detecting, treating, or preventing disease. All types of volunteers are needed: those who are healthy or may have an illness or disease of all different ages, sexes, races, and ethnicities, to ensure the study results apply to as many people as possible and that treatments will be safe and effective for everyone who will use them. For information about participating in clinical research, visit the NIH Clinical Research Trials, and you learn about clinical trials currently looking for people with PDD at clinicaltrials.gov. Where can I find more information on pervasive developmental disorders? Information may be available from the following resources: the American Speech Hearing Association and Medline Plus. Learn more about relative topics, autism spectrum disorder. So I will actually, what I will do is I will link this in the description of it, I will link this website in the description of this video when it gets uploaded. And if you know of somebody who has this, maybe you've never heard this before, or maybe you have a child who you've seen have some of these symptoms, if maybe you know a friend who has this and doesn't understand what they're going through, maybe this is for you. And I just want to make this information available to you. I find this game so beautiful that it does this, and it really, like, going through this and having explained this to you, it really does help me to understand, as I hope it does for you as well, what River is going through. And it's not a disease. I don't view it as a disease. I never view autism as a disease. I find it beautiful and a blessing that River is the way that she is. You know, I know this is frustrating for her, but I feel that she, in her mind, is so intelligent. She's so beautiful in every regard as a character and as a person that, you know, to me, she is a blessing. As all people with any type of, it doesn't matter what illness you have, it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter how your mind thinks or processes, you are a blessing. You are a blessing, and you should know that you are a blessing. And so, it doesn't matter, at the end of the day, know that you are special, you are loved, and that you should never give up on yourself. That is so important. Never give up on yourself. Always seek out those who will care for you, and who you can care for. We can not only be a blessing as a blessing, but we can be a blessing to others. And I think that's very important. And it's very important that we give more light to people who have and are going through these issues, because these are very pertinent issues. They will never go away. Autism is never going to go away. But our understanding of autism and how we respond to those who have autism can change and should change. And when we start viewing people with autism as a blessing, and we start giving them patience, and we allow them to speak and show us their creativity and really fully express themselves, we are doing good to them, as well as they will always do good to us. So I wanted to say that. I wanted to give that its importance. This whole pervasive developmental disorders. I wanted to really educate us on this topic before we proceed into the latter half of this game. Without further ado, though, I will not delay us any further. Let's hop in, let's go into it, and find out how this game ends. I'm so curious. So, when we last left off, we were, they had just made their date plans for the theater, and so I think, and it was a very touching moment. It was a very happy moment. I was happy about it. I thought it was great. Let's find out what River's doing. She's reading a book. Okay. Stuffed toy platypus. I suppose if you look at it from the right angle. No, not really, never mind. Okay. Oh my. What were you doing there, dude? What? I asked her out. No, that was pathetic. If I were you, I would have just barged in there and be all like, "Hey, you, go out. Me, you, now." You know, I can't really say that I necessarily like Nicholas. I understand Izzy. I don't understand Nicholas, and I don't know that Nicholas has the same issue as Izzy do. I'm not even entirely sure how Izzy and Nicholas's relationship works. But I can't necessarily say through any of this that I've necessarily liked Nicholas or that he's a friend with Johnny. I understand that they've known each other for a long time, but I don't know. But it's just, it is something though. Okay. That's just terrible. I agree fully, and I agree wholeheartedly. We're not here to boss people around. I know. And it would have still been better than what you just... How? How, Nicholas? How would it have been better? I want to really understand you for a moment here. You're saying that going up to a woman as a man and say, like, think of this, ladies. What, I mean, I guess, okay, let me do it two ways here. There is, I guess, the whole bad boy spectrum out there that says, you know, the man's gotta be commanding or else I won't go out with him. I guess there is that whole spectrum here and perspective. But to me, it's just plain rude to go up to somebody and be like, "Look, dude, look, ma'am, you're going out on a date with me. Now, let's go. In my car. Never met you before, but we're going out on a date. Now." I can't even do that with a straight face because I would never do that. I'm sorry, but if I did that with, okay, I have a fiance. Let me preface this. I have a fiance, and I know Katrin very well. My fiance is amazing. Okay, I keep calling her my girlfriend because I recently proposed, and I'm still getting used to calling her my fiance. I'm sorry, but like, if I went up to Katrin and I said, "Katrin, you're going with me right now. Get in the car. We're going out to eat." You know what the response of her would be? Absolutely not. She would walk away, and she'd be every right to walk away. I can't even do it with a straight face because I'm just not that. I'm just not mean. I'm just not cruel. And to me, that's mean. That's just... It's bully. It's controlling. It's just not my character. It's not who I am as a person. And I don't understand you, Nicholas. I will never understand guys who are this way. I'm sorry, I cannot. Maybe I'm wrong, and you can tell me you can tell me in the comments. Am I wrong on this? Like, what do you prefer, ladies? What do you prefer, guys? Do you think that men should act like Nicholas, or do you think like men should act like Johnny did in the last episode? I prefer Johnny's way. I think Johnny did really good. I would applaud Johnny. I don't think it's good that Nicholas is sitting over here berating Johnny for not being mean in the way that he went, or controlling in the way that he goes up to River. And if you don't think that's controlling, it's controlling. I'm sorry, it's controlling. It's being a dominant alpha male. And I absolutely hate the terms alpha male and beta male. I think they're dumb. I think they're stupid. You got males and you got females, and men can act like adults if they want to, or they can act like big kids, and women can act like adults if they want to, and they can act like big kids. And to me, when you're going around telling others that you're an quote unquote alpha male or a beta male, you are essentially saying, I just don't think that's a very mature thing, personally. I just don't think that's a very good thing. I think that you can act like an adult or you can choose to act like a child. And if you choose to act like an adult male, then you can walk up and say, hey, would you like to go out to me, as opposed to, hey, you're going out with me right now. You know, I do. I don't like those terms. I don't use those terms. Call me a beta male if you want to. It doesn't do anything to me. I do not think that that's a good way to act as a person. It's just stupid. So she did throw an encyclopedia at your. So did she throw an in your face, huh? Did she? Yeah, I don't like Nicholas. Why does he have to take this attitude? I love Dr. Rosalie and Dr. Watts so much. Okay. See, I just don't care for Nicholas. I just don't think that he is good for Johnny at all. Like, why would I think that? He's rude and uncouth and unkind. And I just don't like people like that. I think there's a better way to act. You can act like an actual adult. River, why don't you answer it? I know you know the answer. I see. Poor River. She wants to. See, look at how intelligent she is. She's recalling all of this information by memory. You know, I couldn't even remember dates as a kid. Like, I love River. I think that she's a wonderful character. Okay, okay. Only asked for the date, but I really like that River was able to do that. She's very intelligent, as all people with any type of autism and any type of like all people are intelligent. You know, like I really don't. You treat somebody as a person, and if they are an adult, you treat them like they're an adult and that they matter. You don't talk down to somebody as a child, and I don't put up with that. I think that that is very, especially if that's somebody older than you, if they're an elderly person, you treat that person with respect. You know, it's just being, it's just being good. That's just my view on it, and I know that there's people out there that have different views on it. You may think that my views are all completely wrong. I don't know. You can let me know in the comments, but I really do feel this way. And see, like this is a good example of somebody who just doesn't understand what River's going through. This person right here, she doesn't understand what she's going through, but it's not, you know, like, you know, this is why it's good to educate ourselves on the conditions of different things like that. And see, like River has a near photographic memory, and I think that's a good thing to point out. Is like, and I've seen this with a lot of people with autism. They really do have a good memory when it comes to specific details to things. If they are really fascinated with a subject, they're going to know every single thing about that subject, and I do mean everything about that subject. And I mean that's so cool. That to me is really awesome that they can do that. I think that's a very good thing that they can do that. It's really cool. Um, they are a blessing. Not really, though. I think their remote memory is often. fairly strong. Is there anything in this room to... And I love that this game is educating its audience on what all of the things that people with this go through. I think that's wonderful. Again, this game is only like $2, but every streamer should do a game should do this game. I think that this is a wonderful game to do for a stream. What's in here? This room is locked. Only open during lunch hours. I wonder if that's going to be like something that we eventually go to. Because again, we are back in his childhood now. Like, this is way before the beginning of the game where we were at. Only if you can paint. You'll get good if you practice, you know. Yeah, right. After this class, I'm never picking up a brush again. Huh. Why do we have to draw stupid barrels anyway? I think we all have had that one class where it's like, we've all had that one class before where it's like, we really didn't understand why we were in it. What would be the class for me in that regard? Oh, probably one of my college classes, several of my college classes, a lot of my college classes. I didn't understand why I had to take it. Awful. Some of them were just plain awful. I'll share some stories actually from my college days here in a bit. Like, well, maybe at the end of it, I'll share a story. At the very end, I'll share one story about. So, there was one professor that made me really super mad in college. I'll just explain that one now. I had this one professor, Leonardo da Vinci, trained by drawing eggs and barrels like very big eggs. Therefore, you will all be very big Da Vinci's. Okay. I find that to be very clever. Okay. So most likely, I saw that there was a passageway down here. So I think it's... That's a wrap. You chumps better earn better the next time. An atrium. We could use this place later. I just can't believe that these court lines are rectangles in his head. Okay. Is there something else about this? Like, no. But there was this one professor in college, right? And he, it was Android development class, or like, there was Android programming class, right? And he had given us this final assignment, right? And he told us we could do anything with it. He told us this like 2 months in advance. And this professor, we asked him multiple times, will you meet with us to discuss our project? We were going to do a gaming project. We asked him 2 months in advance if it was okay to do the gaming project, a gaming app. And he said, fine. And we went and we found some things that we could incorporate into it. It's what we call libraries in programming, where you take this library and then it gives you all of these different like functions that you can put into your program. And he was okay with it 2 months in advance. So we asked him again and again and again, will you meet with us? The professor never meets with us. Final day. Even at midterms, he had us do a presentation on it. He was like, okay, I'm cool with this. I'm good with this. Final day comes up. We have to do a final presentation. We do our final presentation on our game that we've built for the Android. He looks at us and he's like, well, you didn't do my assignment. It's good, but you didn't do my assignment. Oh, no, 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 no. I got so mad. I was furious. I told that professor, look, dude, we've given you 2 months in advance. If you so much as say or mention that you're going to fail us on this, I am going straight to the dean of students. And I told him this, and I mean, I was furious, and I let him have it in front of the whole class. And guess what? We got A's. We got A's that semester. But I got out of that class. I called up my mom. I was like, this is like in the very end of my college career. And I was like, I'm so done. I'm just so done. Because I was just at a point in my life where college, I was so past college already. And I just wanted out. I just got so burnt out in college of everything. Of building games, of doing everything. And it was supposed to be fun. I was there to learn how to make video games, for crying out loud, and I just got to the point where I just wasn't having fun with any of it anymore. It was work, and I just got to where the socialization of college was just... The socialization in college is great, and I think it's cool. It's good to be around people your own age. It's very... I got a lot of good friends out of it. I had a lot of very enjoyable experiences out of it. But as far as the socialization goes, but the classes, the professors, the debt that you accumulate, not worth it. At all. And so I called my mother up and I was like, I'm just done. I'm so done. I want out of this college. Just come and take me away. I don't want it. And, and it was like weeks before I would graduate. But it was awful, man. I was so glad to be out of that class, and I will never touch Android programming again. And to this day, that college experience really drove my desire to create games. It ruined my desire to create games, because now when I go to create a game, I just feel this sadness, because I remember all of the things that college did that really just drove me into the dirt emotionally, and I just can't get past that. I can't even go back to my college campus. I'll be honest with you, I haven't been to my alma mater, my university alma mater in a while, because I cannot stomach going on that campus. It just brings back too many bad memories. The bad memories will always outweigh the good ones about college. And I just can't do it anymore. It's just too much. But... What? Okay. Fine, you win. Booyah! Okay. Well, I'm glad that we went and got the others before we went in that room, because otherwise I didn't think we would have been stuck in this room, I'm afraid. Or maybe it wouldn't have even let us go in there, because I think maybe it wouldn't have let us go in there. Oh, okay, and that opened this door now. Okay, so we had to do all the rest before we could open that door. Okay, that's cool. Again, props to the game makers, because they've done a really good job in the creation of this game to make sure that everything is like... I haven't seen an error be once. I haven't seen any errors. Like, this is fantastic. Very solid gameplay. But yeah, that was one of my college experiences, and I have other stories that I could share. But, college was just not good for me. After a long time, I just got so burnt out on it, and I just can't. And I'll never be able to go back to college again. It's sad, but I will never go back to college again after that experience. No, bachelor's is where my degree will always remain. I do not like Nicholas. If he's talking about River here, I do not like him. I do not like him. I do not like him. Nicholas is... and me, our personalities would clash if he was a real person. So much. If he says that River is boring, River is everything but boring. She is a... This is, again, why, on one end, I don't understand how Izzy and Nicholas's relationship works. On the other hand, it makes perfect sense. Because anybody who would understand emotions, who doesn't have this pervasive disorder, would not be with Nicholas. If they were, they would be emotionally, physically, everything type of abuse. I feel that strongly, and I don't know what their relationship looks like, but he may be abusive to Izzy. I don't know, but Izzy doesn't understand that kind of level of abuse, so to her, it's just normal. But because her whole life is an act, but you know, and like, I do not like. Am I the only one? You can tell me in the comments below. But am I the only one that does not like Nicholas as a character? He's just so ah. He is talking. I want to reach it. Let me sit at that table. If the author was sitting at that table, oh, the things that I would do. I would slap you, silly sir, and knock you across the room with my staff. One day I am going to explain about that. About me being the author and what that means. But I have a character in my books called the author, and that's why I am the author of legend. That's the whole premise of this channel. And I really should do like an explanation video. If you'd like to see me do one, write it in the comments below. And remember to like and subscribe. If you like my content, if you really like what I'm doing here, I would love it if you would stick around and subscribe to my channel. And I thank you so much for all those that have stuck around, who have subscribed to my channel. It's been wonderful having you. She just sits by herself all day with that creepy deformed duck toy. I don't think the duck is deformed. You know, I think this game really should stop on the platypus, because that toy is very meaningful to River, and it doesn't have. The thing about it is it doesn't have to be meaningful to anybody else in this entire game, but if it's meaningful to River, I want her to have that platypus. I want her to be able to connect with it, because she connects with it. It doesn't matter what Nicholas thinks, or Johnny thinks, or what the doctors think about that platypus. If it means something to River, and it gives her joy and peace with her condition, and with everything that she's going through, I want her to have it, and I think I am very thankful that it's a blessing to River. Because I'm sure at this age, that platypus, you've got to understand, at this age, and with as many people who have these opinions like Nicholas, like, that platypus could be her only friend. And may be her only friend. You know? And so, you really got to keep that in mind. I mean, River's going through a lot here. It's not a deformed duck, that's a platypus. What's a platypus? Quit making words up. Educate yourself, Nicholas. Educate yourself, okay? Anyways, she's just so off, you know? She's not off. She's not off at all. In fact, I think she's more genuine than a lot of people in this world. And I think that's true. That can be true and said of a lot of autistic people that you're going to meet in real life, is that they are some of the most genuine people and happiest people that you will ever meet. How in any way is that something that you should look down on or think less of as a person? You know, how? They are a blessing. River's a blessing. It's like she's from a totally different planet or something. Well, she views the world a lot differently, Nicholas, but that doesn't mean that, you know, she views the world totally different from you. You're going to meet a lot of people in your life, Nicholas, that are totally different and see the world totally different from you. Does that make them any less important or any less valuable? Does that make them very, like, does that give you the right to alienate them because they are totally different? I mean, think about that. I want everybody to think about that. I'm sorry I'm not going through this game very quickly, but these are issues. What Nicholas is doing is he's acting like a lot of people act about these types of things. And what they don't understand, they don't take the time to educate themselves on. Therefore, when they go to speak about a subject that they don't know anything about, they sound like Nicholas. What they don't understand, they don't want to understand, therefore, they act like Nicholas is acting here. Or they just don't care at all. And it's sad. It's really sad. We should all be better. I know, isn't it cool? If you're into aliens and that sort of stuff, I guess. But really, if you want to be weird, why don't you just go hang with the emos and the goths? If I was at that table, that food that Johnny is eating would be on top of his head right now. Well, for one, I don't want to ruin my hair. The fact that we got a name for them says a lot too. Look, Nick, I just don't want to be another typical kid in a sea of typical people. Good for you, Johnny. Good for you. But how would being with her change... But how would being with her change your own identity? I mean, you'd just be some guy who hangs out with a shy girl. She's not just shy, Nick. There's something strange about her. Being strange isn't always a good thing, you know? Do you even know if she wants to be different? Maybe she just wants to fit in like everybody else. And if she does, pushing her the other way wouldn't help, would it? Look, Nick. The point is that I know what I need. The point is that I know what I need. And she's the one who has it. Don't change my perspective on you, Johnny. Don't tell me that you're just in this because you want her. What are you about to say here, Johnny? That's cold, man. Well, the way that you worded that sentence is very... The way that you worded that sentence is kind of odd. Johnny. I'm talking to Johnny about that. I just hope you know what you're doing. I think you're wrong, though. People aren't that typical. Everyone's unique in some way. It's just what Grandma tells you. Have I got this wrong? I'm so confused. One minute I think that Johnny genuinely cares, and the next minute he says stuff like this. I'm just so confused. Wait, so this guy's some human hogging hipster? I don't know, man. Like, one minute Nicholas says stuff that I just don't agree with, and I think that Johnny's the hero in this, like, or not necessarily the hero, but I think he's really genuine and he cares, and then one minute Nicholas says something, and it's like, I got Nicholas's personality all wrong, and it's Johnny who's in the wrong here. I am just, this game is so fascinating, but it's just, have I got Johnny's character all wrong? That's sort of disturbing. I agree, because it almost, what Johnny just said almost makes it sound like Johnny's only interested in River because of her body. Like, because she can offer him things sexually. I don't know, man. You know, sometimes I want to slap our clients upside the head. So Johnny this whole time doesn't genuinely care for River? I am just so confused. Because we've seen so much of Johnny, and we've seen all that he's gone through to be with her, and we've seen that he's stuck by her side this whole time, even till she's on her deathbed, and for him to just say this before they go out on their first date. I mean, we saw how sweet in the last episode his proposal to go out on that date was. It was just so sweet, and it was charming, and it was special. When they met at the movie theater, it was really sweet and charming and special. And now that he says this, it taints all of that information that we learned before, you know? It really does. It really messes with my mind a lot. It's high school. But I held Johnny to such a higher standard to what he's showing here. I don't care if it's high school. Like, I just went through this whole spew about how people treat people with this spectrum, and I was praising Johnny as the hero, and then right after that, Johnny goes and says this. And now I don't know what to think. I still stand by what I said about people who are in that position and how I think it's cruel of them to act that way, but I don't know what to think about Johnny's character anymore. And I don't know what to think about Nicholas anymore, because, like I said, one minute Nicholas says some of the most egregious things, and then in another minute he says, like he says here, that everybody's unique, and then like you should find the good in everyone, and it's kind of cold, man, that you feel like you just want her body. Wow. But hey, welcome to the club. Wait. So this is what he told her? So this is what he told her about at the cliff? That he only wanted her originally for her body? I suppose so. I really don't know how to feel about Johnny's character. I just went through an entire spiel, an entire talk about people who are like the way that Johnny's acting right now, and I was praising Johnny thinking that he was the good guy. And now he says this. He goes off and he says this. Like, which, granted, I'm glad that he tells River I'm glad that he told River. I'm glad that it seems like Johnny changed in his later life, kind of like we do. I mean, we change over time. We make stupid mistakes. I've made stupid mistakes before. And I'm not the way I thought when I was like high school age. I'm nowhere near that anymore. You know, like I'm not the person that I was when I was in high school. I've matured over time. Johnny's matured over time. But I just don't know, man. I just don't know what to think about that. I suppose so. She then went cuckoo and began to make those creepy rabbits. You know, thinking about it though, remember how they struggle? Like, remember when I was discussing this at the beginning of this episode, how people with River's condition, they struggle with changes to routine and they struggle with changes to routine and environments. Think of what that did in that moment when River learned that and she doesn't know how to process that. Like, that to me would be a change in her routine because she views Johnny differently. She can't express that she views Johnny differently, but I think that's a behavioral trait of that one spectrum, is that when she started making those rabbits, it was because she felt differently from Johnny about that. Like, it really hurt River and she didn't know how to express that. And that might even explain the rabbit, the way that she felt about the rabbit on the road. Like, because that level of hurt it reminded her, and she got associated with the rabbit. And so, like, the rabbit, she began fixated on that because inside, it kind of like, it really hurt her to her core. That's what I think the rabbit signifies now, is that it's that hurt that River feels, and that's why she got fixated on that in that moment when she learned that. It changed the dynamic of their entire relationship from that point forward, and it really tainted it. And it also explains when she's on her deathbed and she looks over at Johnny, and she's like, Johnny, I don't like it when you lie. Because deep in River's mind, their whole relationship was built on the lie that Johnny liked her as the person. Sometimes, and I'm just going to say it, knowing the truth sucks. When you know what a person really thinks about you and you know what they really were in it for from the get-go, it really does genuinely suck. It's just... And the only person in this entire scenario who is hurt by this is River. The most. Regardless of how Johnny matures and changes over time, the fact that this is what started it all forever taints everything else. Because how is River, someone who doesn't know how to even process her own emotions, how is she going to know that Johnny does genuinely care for her after she learns this when they get married and he's on the cliffside with her? Like, how? Like, how is she ever know how to trust him after that? I think I would go cuckoo too. You know, I mean, I'm not saying that any way is she cuckoo. I don't think that River's cuckoo at all. I think that the way her response now, all of those rabbits and everything that she did after that, it makes perfect sense to me why she did it. She was trying to deal with the hurt that she felt over Johnny telling her that. She was trying to deal with emotions that she had no way of being able to deal with. Because he confessed this from who knows how long ago. I guess she's pretty good at holding a grudge. I don't think it's a grudge. I think she's dealing with her hurt. It's not about a grudge. Who wouldn't be hurt by that? Who wouldn't be hurt? Tell me what woman wouldn't be hurt by that if you had told lie after lie after lie saying, I love you as the person that you are, and then come to find out you were only there for her body. If you were only there for her for what pleasure she could give you. And she doesn't know how to express her emotions. She doesn't know how to do it. All she thinks is, for a person in River's condition, I mean, Johnny's kind of a prey. Not a prey, but she's kind of a prey to Johnny. He's kind of a predator. Like, from that viewpoint, he's kind of a bit of a predator. He preyed on River when she was not able to, and played on her emotions. It is cold. I agree with Nicholas in this. It is cold. I'm not buying it. Something feels missing. Then go get a hat, Sherlock. Come on, I think our passport's leaning against the table here. I'm envious that this kid was still here willing to help him move pianos when their hair grew white. I wish I was still in contact with my childhood friends. I am still in contact with a lot of my childhood friends. And I still have some childhood friends who would gladly help me move pianos if I had to. But reasons and intents aside, it's pretty remarkable that they met in high school. How many of those go on for more than a month? For more than a month nowadays, huh? I don't know. I don't know about you, but mine went pretty swimmingly. Yeah. So swimmingly, it's right out the window. Sounds about right. I just love how every time we see this thing, we're guaranteed a free memory link. It must have left as big of a scar on his mind as it did on mine. There is just so much to unpack here emotionally. But this does make me think that actually, I mean, honestly, it changes my entire perspective on Nicholas, because knowing Johnny's true intents here, I mean, it's just, come on, Johnny. Come on, man. I really do. I cannot fathom being somebody in River's condition and learning that the person that she just got married to, on top of that, he told it to her on his wedding day when they were outside on the cliffside. He told it to her at the reception after they were married. Hey, by the way, I mean, imagine that. You're sitting there with your newly beloved spouse, somebody who thinks the best of you, and you're sitting there at your wedding reception after you've gotten married to them, and you're like, oh, hey, by the way, when I was younger, I first wanted you for your body. How would you react? How would you react knowing that everything that you thought was genuine didn't start out that way? So what? Is everything that happens after they get married, is that all just out of sympathy now? Or does Johnny genuinely care? We'll never know. Because he did this to himself. He tainted by his own beliefs, by his own selfishness, he has tainted this whole thing. Dr. Rosaline believes that there's something missing. And I pray and hope that she's right, that there's something out there that will convince me otherwise. But this really does change a whole lot of things. Should I even? No need, I'm all good now. Kame! Oh, for walnut's sake. Kame! Hey. Not cool, Eva. You never block someone in the middle of a Kamehame. I don't even know what that's from, but I know it's probably a reference to something. What? Six, huh? Ta-da! Oh, okay. I'm going to school now, Ma. Have a nice day, Joey. Where are we, actually, in the timeline of things? Oh, okay. My baby boy, growing up so fast. What if he was a girl? Would she still nickname him after his grandpa? It wouldn't be that bad, actually. Since it ends in A, or Joey, Julie, sounds cute. If it sounds so cute, why don't you marry him? Jealous? Oh yes, so jealous. I love the dynamic of the doctors. Okay, so the clock is ticking. Well, to be fair, oh, so that's the grandfather clock in the house. Well, to be fair, a ticking clock is pretty annoying indeed. Also, we didn't get I don't think we got a single note in that last episode. Did we? Okay, bookshelf. Various books with smudged titles. Uh-huh. Okay. Nothing to do with Mother, but Mother, but there's the pickle jar. Okay, or the olive jar. Glass of pickled cucumbers. Oh! My mind's totally blown. You're pretty easily impressed. Okay, I don't know why sitting there gave me another one, but I'm okay with that. Just going through that door gave me everything I needed to know right there. Oh, it's a soccer ball. Well, that was a fast memory, and again, we didn't get another note in that one either, so I... Six, huh? Good deal, we did it in 6. Awesome. Ah, it smells like roadkill again. Where are we? Eva? What is that? What? Oh, I think... Is Johnny getting worse? Is this a sign that his condition is getting worse? Oh, this is not good. Oh, this is not good at all. Not good. That's his next memory. Yeah, but why is it going Laputa on us? I don't know. It's just not linking... It's just not linking the memories together for construction. There must be a malfunction within the machine's aid. Oh no! Again? I thought the last fix was foolproof for another half year. I can't believe those idiots. I can't believe those idiots in the maintenance department. Look, don't worry. We've already gotten the teenage years saved. We might be still able to do this. How? How are you gonna make a... Oh dear, I feel like this is very bad. Alright, but I ain't telling him about this. As long as we succeed, he doesn't have to know. Oh my goodness. Well, I guess this is it. There's nothing we can do here. Ready to finalize before activation? Ladies first. What a shame. I was actually looking forward to it. Is there something I could have done? Is there something I could have... Act 2. That was only Act 1? How long is this game? Like, that was only Act 1? That was only Act 1? We may not be finishing this game today. I can't believe that. That's only Act 1? We've been through so much. What? What? My mind is officially blown. Do not disturb them. They may not wake easily, but they need concentration. that's all this old fool knows. Sorry I couldn't be more of help. Then that'll have to be enough. All that's left to do is linking your registered desire to go to the moon to your early memories. Then we'll pull the switch and voila, you'll be on the moon in no time. I have a question. If you could make Lily disappear... Oh, was her name Lily? That means you can alter this world. Maybe her name was Lily and Nicholas? I can't remember. I thought it was Izzy, but maybe I was wrong. Then you cannot simply take... Then can you not simply make things happen and fulfill my wish here and now? That would work if this were one of your... if this were one true set of memories. What do you mean? What is this then? What am I? This is just a copy, a canvas for us to work with, if you will. As for you, you're merely an algorithm traced from Johnny. Enough to reflect his likeness, but far from completeness. All we can do is prepare this canvas in a logical and consistent way, and then we can transfer your registered desire to your childhood. This machine will generate your new life, one where the desire dictates your behavior. The result of that would then be written to the real Johnny. So you see, even if we satisfy you, you are merely a read-only program. I mean, we could reset you over and over again, and that's enough. Oh, don't be so sensitive. He's not real, you know. If you truly believe that, why do you even care to explain? I'm just trying to save time. Let's go. Doctor? Is that truly what I am? What? I don't understand. All our night's work. Oh, those are the things that we've collected? What the? At least give me a warning first. What can I say? I like being a hit. I'd ask if that's a pun, but I'm afraid you'd say yes. Let's do this fast. I feel silly enough in this form as it is. All we need to do is pass his desire from the latest memory to his earliest. Okay. So what am I doing? Line up the two matching mementos on the desired edges to transfer the registered desire. Okay. I do not know. Oh, okay. Okay, I see. So then... That's a... Well, then I need to go all the way down here first. Right? I need to do this like this. I need to go to the earliest and match that up first. So, in order... What do we have over here? Okay, we have that. So we're going to change this around. Okay, so now those two should be linked, right? And then, but then we don't have, But I don't think. Was there a jar of pickles on this one? No, there's not a jar of pickles on this one. So then. But there is that. Is there a page? No, there's not a page. You've got flowers, and you've got a bunny rabbit, but it's not the same bunny rabbit. Really, you only have. Yeah. You have that and the jar of pickles, but there is no pickles on this one. I'm confused. If I did both bunny rabbits, would that link it? No. The only thing that you have. Well, I guess we'll just try it, but the only thing that... This thing doesn't have a jar of pickles on it, so I don't know what they want from me, because there is no jar of pickles. Okay. Maybe they don't have to be... Maybe they don't have to all be connected to each other? Oh, okay, so if we turn it yellow, that's the indication. Okay, that's the disconnect that I was had, so... Hey, check this out. Nom nom nom. Seriously? Wow. Okay, so we got that one transferred. And then... Okay, so now we... Okay, we did it. That's all the ones we can work with. Ready to pull the switch? You know me, I'm always ready. Alright, let's check out what souvenirs he brought back from the moon. Ladies first? Not this time, hon. Too bad we got a straggler here. No loss. We can do this without him. I don't know that we can. I know, but it feels incomplete. If you get too attached, it's going to impede your abilities to do your job. That's rubbish. Don't pin your womanly ways on me. Stupid maintenance department. Can't fix things properly. Give them some slack. Everybody makes mistakes. Okay, so I guess that's not what we were trying to do. That's not the way that we were supposed to go. So I guess we go all the way back up here. What are we supposed to do? I know it said pull the trigger, but... Okay. So, I guess that's what we need to do. We need to go back through every one of them and see what he brought back. Something isn't right. Yeah, I agree. These memories, they feel more than just having happened again. They are exactly the same. That's impossible. The desire was transferred, was it not? It was. Something's definitely wrong. Okay, this isn't right. How could everything be the same? Let's confirm it. We need his last accessible memory. I do... It's a little too early. Let's... This is the same setting as his real last accessible memory. I'm not too crazy about where this is going. Me either. What's going on? Why is there this whole thing? I don't understand. Let's go inside the house. This isn't... He'd probably still be on the cliff. Oh yeah. Okay, so I remember that, actually. Oh. Oh, boy. Something's definitely off. Johnny? What a pleasant surprise. We don't get too many visitors around here. Deja vu again. My name is Dr. Ava Rosaline, and this is... What? I'm not going to say it twice. Dr. Neil Watts. Are you familiar with the Sigmund Agency of Life Generation? Oh, you were the two from the agency? How convenient. I was just thinking of calling you. Lily, get us some tea, please. Lily? Freeze him too. This is not right. There's something very seriously wrong. Well, wait here. I'll go send the desired signal again. See if there are any changes. Oh man, did we mess with this guy's memories? Did we mess everything up? Oh boy. We are in trouble. This is even worse than having his last memory, like his earliest memory intact. This is so... Oh man. Any changes? Not even a hair. How could this be? Even if his desire doesn't work alone, why is there no change at all? Perhaps it just needs some provoking to activate from his early memories? The earliest we can get to. Let's go. Something is seriously not right. Not right at all. Johnny's desire to go to the moon might need some stimulation to be brought up, huh? Well then. What the? This wasn't even what they said was playing. Oh well. Do you mind, River? No, I like this one. Alright, let's go then. Hopefully that's enough for an ignition. Wait, where is Neil? Did you see the moon? See the moon? How was it? It was a bit too much pretense for me. I prefer movies with a bit more. Oh, je ne sais quoi. Okay. Where on earth did you go, Neil? Oh, is he in the movie theater? I bet you anything he's in the movie theater. Watching the movie. Where are you? I know you're in here, Neil. To the moon, darling. Oh, Henry. Dear Lord, I'm way too tired and hungry to be constructing movies. I guess I should go see if anything's changed with John. Sorry for making you sit through this, buddy. It's all the same. I have to try igniting it somewhere else then. This is ridiculous. Lily? Perhaps something here could work. I don't have time for her right now. Huh? So did she throw an encyclopedia at your face, huh? Did she? What are you guys doing here? It's starting. Let's go get a good spot. Wait. I don't remember that happening. Something must have changed. What changed, though? Hey, don't squeeze. I don't like that we're messing with Johnny's memories. Like, changing them? Wait a minute. This isn't a real change. This is... May I have your attention, please? Oh. As you know, I'm a representative sent from NASA in all of its glory, and I'm here to tell you all about it. Oh, great. Hit it, Timmy. Wow, that was terrible. But I digress. Anyways, I know that many of you are wondering, what chances do I have of doing something as awesome as adventuring to another realm? To inhale the sweetness of Venus or swim the counterclockwise through the rings of Saturn? Or perhaps just chilling on the backside of the moon? Well, here at NASA we believe that with enough will everyone has the potential. Could it be you? Or you? Or perhaps you? But I don't want to go to the moon. Then you're in luck. Wait, what? Why not? Why should I? I'm happy here on Earth as it is. Well, you don't want to go there even for a little bit? No, why? Not even a tiny bit? No. As an official national recruiter, I shall go over some facts about the moon. I love Dr. Watts so much. Him and Dr. Rosaline are my favorite characters in this. To start off, the moon was 4.5 billion years old. Oh dear. And did you know its surface is as big as Africa? It's true. In fact, if you try to bike on the moon... Also, it takes 1.54 seconds for light travel to the moon from here. And if you drive a car, that takes 130 days. I knew that. And last but not least, people who go to the moon get rich and famous. We all know that rich plus famous equals groupies. So, that concludes my presentation. Remember, NASA welcomes any of you, especially if you're a brunette. Wow. I have no words. Well, what did you think? So probably wouldn't hire you, but I suppose it was blatant enough for this. I do try pretty hard. I do try pretty hard. Are you going to see if that worked? Of course, I'll be right back. Back. Report. Utter failure. Hey, don't get discouraged. I'm sure there's still things to be done. Such as, well... We can't afford building this house, Isabel. We can't afford... Hey! But you can afford a lunar trip lottery. If you sell this house, you sure can. Oh my gosh. Neil Watts. Is the diagnosis certain? Yes, in fact, we rarely can have anyone. Did you know that NASA has an excellent healthcare plans? It's true for you both and your spouse. Free pony rides in space. They're really desperately trying here. Oh look, it's a wedding. Good for the both of you. But here's a riddle. Can you guess where you should go for the honeymoon? Oh my gosh. River? This just isn't working. It's more than just not working. It's ridiculous. We're professionals. I didn't sign up for this job of running around yelling at him like an idiot. You didn't? Look, maybe this is a lack of sleep getting to us. Had I known we'd be an all-nighter, I would have brought coffee. I agree. You should have seen the movie I constructed earlier. What movie? Exactly. Anyway, as valuable as time is here, this just isn't getting us anywhere like this. Let's take a break till morning, and hopefully Johnny can hang on till then. I do have some calls to make. Okay. So I think we're going back to the present, and we're going out of the machine now. I think. Maybe? It doesn't make sense. Why did the machine have no effect? Johnny's registered wish to go to the moon was successfully transferred, yet there isn't a trace of him wanting to go to the moon after the transfer. Unless a secondary condition for the desire was changed in the process. Only then would the same desire produce two different outcomes at two different points in time. There's no denying. Oh, okay. There's no denying that River played an important role through it all. If there's anything that would have changed, that would have caused the core to change, she would have been the top suspect. But out of all things, what exactly caused it? River. Just what exactly did you do? The sun's rising. We don't have too much time left. I wonder if Neil came up with anything. I think we're going to actually pause here. This is so fascinating that all this stuff is going on. I don't know how to process any of it. We're messing with Johnny's brain, and I feel like I really hope... I'm so perplexed at just the massive size of the story, because this is only a $2 game, but it's so phenomenally done. The developers deserve praise for this. Like, you should really go out and buy this game and play it for yourself. It's fantastic. We're gonna pause right here, though. I do hope that you all have enjoyed, and tell me what your thoughts are in the comments of where you think this story is going to, because honestly, this is amazing. This is fantastic. And and look, we've gone from green to orange, which I think is a good indication that we are nearing the end of Johnny's life. And I think that's where the game is eventually going to end. It's going to end on the moment that Johnny actually passes away. I can't predict that for sure, but I believe that's what it's telling us with that monitor scan. So I look forward to seeing more. I look forward to seeing the rest of this game. It's so fascinating, so amazing, and I hope you have enjoyed. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you all in the next episode for this. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye now.